made it over to the Lyons Ferry. Never been here, never fished here. Goose turds galore, bro. And feathers, tons of them. But I'm gonna see if there's any fish here. See if I can't get a bite. Maybe a bass, maybe a pike minnow. I'm hoping I get a pike minnow, that way I can cut it up and use it as cut bait for catfish. And yeah, then maybe I can get a big old monster. This place sure is beautiful, man. Oh yeah, this spot's awesome. So, let's try our luck. Oh, come on, get back in there. There we go. First cast. We'll see what happens. Dude, this place is gorgeous. It's all sandy bottom too. Maybe I should cast over by those pillars. Maybe there's a bass holding under there. Palouse Falls is just up that way. I saw Leaf on Northwest Fishing Secrets, one of his older videos. He went up there and actually hiked down to the base and fished it. And he caught pike minnow and catfish, I think, maybe bass. But he did pretty fair over there. Yeah, I'm gonna try and cast over at one of those pillars. Well, I'm back at it. I'm gonna be dropping in another line right about there, and see if I can't pull out a catfish. I already got a suckerfish, so yeah, we'll see what happens, man. I love this spot. This spot is fantastic. I love Lyons Ferry. There are great fish here, I can already tell, and probably twice the size that I caught. So yeah, this is gonna be fun. I'm gonna go for a decently long video this time and try and talk more in it. I usually fish pretty silently, but I know since I have viewers, you guys obviously want to see and hear me do more than just take videos. So I'm going to throw on a whole night crawler here on a little salmon hook and sink it and hope for the best. I was just funneling it on kind of like a snake. That's how I always put my worms on. Then when a fish comes after the tail and they gulp up the whole dang thing, it's a perfect hook set. Basically every cast. Or every fish, I should say. Oh before I turned off the video that I was recording just a few minutes ago, I ended up with a snag. So I kind of got to be a little more cautious about where I'm putting my bait here, so that don't happen twice, but I should be fine. I think it was just a stray boulder. I think there's like a stray boulder out past this a little bit. Yeah, see how it kind of like wiggles through the water? The fish loves that, it drives him nuts. Okay, right there is perfect. Perfect, 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 perfect. And then I found this awesome little spot right here. It wedges the pole perfectly. So if anything's pulling it that way, it's gonna have to snap the pole in half if it wants to get away. My grandpa, he told me a story from when I was a kid. He was down at the Columbia Park in Kennewick, and he was fishing in the water offshore there, towards the middle of the park, I'd say. Him and my grandma were there for the afternoon. He was bottom fishing, and he had his pole sitting up against his bag or whatever. And he said that he saw the tip of the pole just go down onto the ground and then zipped straight out into the water about 10-15 feet, stopped. He ran out there to grab it, and as soon as he got up to it, it took off to the right and went full force down the river at about like 7 or 8 miles an hour. It had to have been a sturgeon. I'm 100% certain that it was a sturgeon that took his bait that day, because there ain't nothing in the Columbia River over there big enough to take a full fishing pole and just drag it through the river like it's a toy. If I look directly up, you probably can't see it on film, but there's an absolute ton of little sparrows up there. They make these little, yeah, there they are right there. They make those little mud nests and lay eggs and hatch their babies in there, and then they'll fly around all day catching food, specifically in the mornings and at the evenings, and then they'll go back and feed their babies. They're pretty cool. They have a lot of them over on the Yakima River Bridge. Man, there's an absolute ton of them out there, over there towards the middle of this bridge. Man, bottom fishing can be kind of slow, but you know, it frees up a lot of your time to just sit around and do nothing, like, you know, smoke cigarettes or drink a beer, chat with a friend, make a phone call, something, you know. You can just kind of kick back and take a look at your line every now and again and just kind of make a judgment call. I know that there's a lot of novice bottom fishers out there that their biggest mistake is mistaking current for a bite. Almost 90% of the time, they're mistaking the bottom of the river for a fish. Whether that's seaweed, rocks, a muddy bottom. Sometimes a muddy bottom can be really grippy. It just all really depends. That's a weird looking piece of driftwood. What the hell? That'd make a good fish whomper. Dude, I'm keeping that. That's awesome. That'd be perfect for salmon and steelhead fishing, man. Or catfish, if I get a catfish. Oh, there's a big old raven flying across the river. It's headed towards me now. Right up there. Yield. Yield is the Tlingit word for raven. There he goes. Dang, he's big too. Alright, I'm gonna reel this in a tad bit. Because the last time that I picked it up and reeled it in, that's when I realized there was a fish on it. Like, I couldn't even see the bite. So I just kind of like had to guess it at the final moment there. I was really hoping that I could catch pardon me, I was really hoping that I could catch a northern pike minnow so I could cut that bad boy up and use that on the bottom as cut bait, because then I'd guaranteed without a doubt catch a channel catfish. Channel catfish don't really seem to like worms all that much on river systems. That's for the yellow bellies. The yellow bellies love the worms. God, that sure is a nice view. Man, all this was carved out about 15,000 years ago by the glaciers that busted over in Montana, I think, and then flooded this whole region. In fact, I think that's why the Columbia Basin is a desert. All the trees and things that used to be here all got washed away by trillions of gallons of water. It was basically like a whole ocean came washing through here all at once, carved out the Wallula Gap down that way, and yeah, it was pretty brutal. Leaf from Northwest Fishing Secrets actually talks about that from time to time when he's out over on his homestead property. All that area out there was washed out. It was really intense. Probably killed millions of things. And from what I know, I think it happened like 2 or 3 times. There were a couple of times that it refroze, filled back up with water, and then re-dumped back into the basin. So if it did that multiple times, that would make a lot of sense why it's so flat and there ain't no trees and ain't no nothing. It all got washed out. Oh geez Louise, man. I guess I'm not gonna catch a fish in this video. Perhaps, but yeah, I don't know. Oh, I got one. I don't know what it is, but I got one. It's probably a catfish. Oh man, feels pretty good. Oh, it's a big old suckerfish, dude. Look at the size of that white suckerfish. Oh, that's incredible. Look at that, dude. An absolute pig. I'm gonna have to be particular about how I'm gonna get this hook out. Sorry, bro. You got a freaking fat mouth. Come on, buddy. Here we go. Not a bad fish. It's a nice little sucker. There he goes. Didn't even realize he was on. Not in the slightest. Maybe he's got a cousin. I'm casting back out. Right in there. That's the ticket right there, buddy. Ah, God, I love this spot already. If that's the smallest fish I catch out of this hole, god damn, I'm gonna come back here all the time. I didn't even know he was on there.